stock extending the recent decline following that interview. It's down 1 2/3% right now. Joining us right now, political reporter for Axios, Alexei Macamond. Alexei, good to see you. Thanks very much for weighing in this morning. What was your reaction to the interview?
So, as you mentioned at the top of the show, it took Mark Zuckerberg 5 days to make this statement. And someone else was saying that he lacks charisma. And I think that is all fair criticism of him. My reaction, though, and this is what we've reported at Axios, is that the statement left out a lot of critical things. The statement itself didn't include an apology. It didn't have an explanation for why in 2015, when all of this was happening with Cambridge Analytica, they didn't come forward and say anything. It also left out why they didn't say anything in any of the conversations or public discussions we've been having about Facebook's role with, Donald Trump's campaign and the 2016 election. So there are a lot of key things missing, and I think that's what was we were really hoping to be seen in this statement.
Are you expecting new legislation on the technology companies as a result of this powerful position and influence that they've never had, never as powerful as they are today?
That's an interesting thing that we've seen how both sides of the aisle, Republicans and Democrats, sort of agree on, is that they think there should be more regulations on tech companies. And I think as we see the power that Facebook and Twitter and Google have, as well as these almost lackluster statements being made, Congress will move forward on legislation to regulate these companies. And Mark Zuckerberg said himself in that statement, in that interview you just played, that he's not sure that they shouldn't be regulated. So I think what we will see is obviously Congress is calling on him to testify in front of them. That will help inform any legislation they're considering moving forward.
Alexei, Mitch Rochelle, one of the things I want to just drill down on a little bit more, and obviously we're not big fans of regulation here, but if there was regulation, what would it look like? Because the regulation of Facebook and companies like that isn't really that new, because the Internet's been around for 25 years, and there's similar privacy issues just sort of across the Internet. So what would regulation look like if there was regulation?
I think that's a great question, and that's something a lot of people are curious about as we're getting more information, not only about these security breaches, but how these platforms can be used as almost weapons against its very users. So I think what we can expect to see is regulation that is informed by this testimony we were just talking about. We don't have specifics on what this could look like against Facebook, because unfortunately what we're seeing is that all of this is so new. There's more information coming out in the 5 days since this was announced in Mark Zuckerberg's statement, in whatever he could possibly reveal that he hasn't revealed or the company hasn't yet.
This policy was put into place in 2007. It ended after 2014, and it allowed opening up these apps to app developers and giving them access to not only the people who use those apps, but all the information of their friends. That's what helped Facebook grow from 48 million users to more than 2 billion users right now. And time and again, I will just say, I think that the righteous indignation from the left right now is laughable, because this has been going on for years. In terms of Russia manipulating the platform, they were letting people kill other people and commit suicide via Facebook Live. Fake news.
Well, you can't forget the Barack Obama presidency and the election.
Well,
President Obama knew exactly how to mine the data and capture the voters and potential voters.
That was 2012.
At that point, though, Facebook wanted it. But come on in, President Obama. We want you to win.
It was perfectly legal, and people on the left felt like that Zuckerberg and company were their friends, that they were in their corner, and this is what happened. It's hilarious, the sneering that you see on other networks by these commentators. It's like we've been talking about it on Fox News for years.
Which is why when we spoke with Congress about this, everybody I asked in the last several weeks said, yeah, we're expecting some kind of legislation. Here's Chris Collins yesterday.
I'm confident you will see new legislation coming out, and or the enforcement where it belongs, the FTC, will be coming down on them, so that it's more evident for someone that you're checking a box that's okay.
I don't want Congress to overreact without having all the information. First thing I want Congress to do is learn everything that happened. But this is a technology that's continued to grow. This is where a lot of people get their information, even though if it may not be true information. So what roles do we see that should change in there? The first thing that has to happen is Facebook needs to come in and talk to Congress. They need to answer the questions. And after we get all the information, we should see what's appropriate and what's appropriate for the future for the individual going forward.
There you go. Topic of conversation one. James Freeman.
Okay, Alexi, as you know, Facebook is, in political terms right now, mainly guilty of being useful to the Trump campaign in 2016. So given that this service has allowed a lot of people for free to enjoy a lot of services in return for trading information about them, I'm wondering about the downside risks here from regulation. The fact that Mark Zuckerberg doesn't seem to be opposed to it. We've seen this before. Big companies, big incumbents benefiting from regulation because it means new competitors have a tougher time competing with them. Isn't this likely, if we get a new round here, to help Facebook because it's going to make it very expensive for someone to create the next competitor to them?
That is a very good question, and I don't know the exact specifics of what this could mean for Facebook, but I think that is something we should be considering, because obviously I think there's a lot of political calculus going on behind Mark Zuckerberg saying, I'm not sure that we shouldn't be regulated, right? Showing this willingness to be regulated, which could benefit him, as you just mentioned. So I think all of that remains to be seen. In terms of regulation, going back to the earlier question, I think the idea of how much data is given and available is something that Facebook mentioned in their 4-step plan to sort of taking action after they admitted to this. They said that they would notify users of apps that are misusing and collecting their data. I think that is hugely important and something that could be considered in legislation. They said they would give limited access to apps that they considered to be misusing data, that they would cut them off from the platform. I think that is something that is going to be considered in these regulations, and also just barring people from even joining the platform if they have had previous sort of shady ways of collecting information.
I just want to be clear. I have sat on this very program for years now, and as more problems developed at Facebook, like, not really cracking down on terrorist content and actual people who committed terrorist acts and stepping back and trying to wash their hands of that, I've sat in front of this camera and said, you better get your arms around what is going on this platform. You're asking for regulators to come in the front door of your company and crack down on it. I've said it time and again about Facebook
for a long time.
And by the way, when they found out in the past, there have been myriad abuses of data, of this very data. Cambridge Analytica is not the first. Their way of policing it has been like, don't do that. You really shouldn't do that. You need to stop that. That's really not good. That's been their way of enforcement.
And you've called that, actually, by the way. All right, real quick, Alexi, your thoughts on this, effort to avoid a government shutdown, $1.3 trillion spending bill.
It's an expensive package, but I've heard from lawmakers on both sides of the aisle in Congress that they obviously want to do everything they can to avoid a government shutdown. I think there are a couple of bipartisan wins in there, especially the opioid epidemic. Using nearly $3 billion in increase in funding is a huge deal. The Fix NICS, which has bipartisan support, is a huge win for both sides of the aisle. I think that we can expect the government will remain open, and that is a good thing for everyone.
Good thing for everybody, but we are looking at $1 trillion deficits for 10 years out and beyond. Alexi, good to see you. Thank you. Alexi
Thanks.
McCammond there.